Good morning, everybody. Just after the market opened here, but man, we have some nice movement going on here on the SPY this morning. It's actually pretty nice price action here, given everything that happened yesterday. Yesterday, the market had a great move back to the upside after that big drop off in pre-market. So today, I'm really going to be eyeing up the SPY for a nice breakout up above like that high of pre-market yesterday and after hours almost right around 383.50. If we could blast up above 383.50, I am really going to keep my eyes on the SPY for some call options past that point. But in my opinion, I just think the SPY is setting up very, very well right now. I love that it held the support here right around 380. Love that setup. I'm really liking the setup here on Amazon as well. I think that one's looking pretty hot. We talked a lot about Meta yesterday too. That one is really starting to break out up above 168, which I have as a pretty big resistance on my chart. So we'll have to see if she can get back up above that. But I believe that Meta looks pretty decent heading into this morning. But, you know, stocks that are really flying up today, guys, are like Rivian. Wow. Guys, look at this move on Rivian. What is going on here? Whoa. That is a big move on Rivian, guys. That is huge. I cannot believe that Rivian is moving that much, up to almost $30 a share this morning. Holy crap, guys. I mean, that is the huge explosion. Let's get the damn news up on this. Like, what is going on with Rivian? Let's see. Let's see why Rivian stock is rising. I like how they say that. All right, we'll see what it says. Why Rivian stock is rising today. Let's see. The company announced production totals for the second quarter. Rivian said it produced 4,400 vehicles in the second quarter and delivered 4,400 or 4,467, I guess. Let's see. The company said vehicle production was in line with its expectations. Rivian believes it remains on track to produce 25,000 vehicles annually per its previous guidance. Yeah, I do remember hearing about that, I think, on their last earnings. I do remember reading that with Mike in one of the nightly videos. But right now, though, this is just huge news for Rivian. Obviously, the market's loving their production numbers that they gave out, and it doesn't seem like that much, only 4,400 vehicles, but they're on track for 25,000 annually. So I don't know. It's kind of a tough one for me. Either way, though, it's moving up in a big way, and that's all that matters. So it has a lot of momentum to the upside, which is great. Let's look at it on the 1-year daily. You know, looking at it on an intraday chart, you would think, wow, huge gap to the upside, right? But then you look on the daily and it looks like the stock hardly even moved, really. So I don't know. I guess it has a long way to go. It's still really low down here. Obviously, it's a high percentage, 10%, because the stock is such a low price. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining up today, as always. Good morning, Jamie, E, George, Raymond, Hunter, Mike. I appreciate you all joining up, of course, as always. Don't forget to smash that like button. It does really help out here. Hunter, are you back in class today? I'm not sure. I forgot yesterday if we talked about that or not, but man, I hope you had a good 4th of July. Same with everybody else. Man. Yeah, the market's having a pretty good day, though, I will say. Like, apparently stocks to the upside, mostly growth stocks again, like Rivian, Teladoc. Teladoc's having a pretty nice run at market open, too. Fubo is really starting to break out, which is amazing. Let's see, Lucid, Astra, ASTR. Nice, guys. I mean, hey, looks like growth across the board is doing awesome. Asana. Enphase was actually down a little bit yesterday, and they are popping back up today in a big, big way, which is good to see them recovering. Yesterday, they were low compared to a lot of other stocks. Man, they fell down to that big support and just could not come back up from there. But yeah, it's been a crazy past couple days for Enphase, I will say that. But yeah, most stocks are doing decent today. As far as stocks to the downside, unfortunately, DoorDash fell off like 8.9% today. That was a pretty big move down. While we're also seeing Rivian jump, we're seeing NIO get destroyed pretty much today, down 4.2%. I mean, what a bad move down. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, bad move down on Neo there. Not what you want to see. I mean, just terrible price action this morning. A lot of the China plays are down, like Neo, Baba, XPEV, JD. I'm noticing all of those stocks are like right around the lows on my chart here. So might be a tough day for these. I hope that they can do a little bit better. But yeah, it's not the... those ones are not moving the way that we'd hope so. They're definitely not doing anything that these growth stocks are doing. Let's check in on DraftKings. Oh, man, DraftKings was green for a little bit, momentarily here at market open, and then is dipping now right back off to the downside. A little bit unfortunate, but it's okay. At least we had that nice pop at open. I'll take that. Hunter says he has the week off. Nice, nice. That's good to see. I know you've been killing it on your classes and stuff. Yeah, soon you'll be raking in them dollars, Hunter. Man, that job has a really good pay structure and stuff. But yeah, let's see. DraftKings today, Square. Let's see, Square. Square almost has an identical chart to DraftKings today, which is a little bit weird. Let's see, Boeing, maybe Carnival Cruise Lines. Yeah, they all kind of flew up today at market open. Now they're just dipping right back down as of right now. I was hoping maybe we could see some nice, good momentum here at open. We might break out. I was looking for the SPY to really break, but man, we hit right around that resistance yesterday. Like it broke for 1 or 2 seconds and then ended up tumbling right back off now. Just not what you want to see, I guess, but you know, it's not too bad. I'll take that over downwards movement, but still, it's only in the positive just ever so slightly. Maybe the support will hold up like at 382. Maybe 380 will hold up down below that. But nonetheless, it's definitely having some crazy runs to the downside today. I know Cornish is always talking about SOXS, and this stock got killed yesterday, of course, but it had been having a great past few days, and looks like it's kind of ripping back up again today, which is cool. I know he always also talks about LabU, and LabU had another big move at market open. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. I cannot believe that is running like that. I can't believe LabU is up again. Every day Cornish is like, LabU, LabU, and then there it goes. Hunter goes, I hope. He says, do you think the dollar UUP has another leg up this week? That's a tough one, E. I will say the dollar is pretty tough to gauge like that on like a weekly basis. Do I think it'll have another leg up? I mean, it's definitely continuing to go up here. Man, I don't think we'll have another leg. I think that we might just continue to slowly move up, maybe to like 108 or something like that. I could see a pretty safe move like that, E. But yeah, the dollar, I really like trading it, and I like I will say this, I don't like trading it, but I like analyzing it. You can see I have like some drawings on here from a long time ago, and realistically, this was a very bullish setup whenever we started on the uptrend. I was honestly talking about that quite a bit in some of the videos and stuff about the dollar potentially going up, and you know, I always talk about certain political parties in power. So for example, like Democrats, for example, they for some reason wanted the dollar high, and Trump wants the dollar low. Now there's positives and negatives to each thing, but you know, it's just kind of like what they do. Now I know a lot of people don't want to agree with that, but you know, Trump has came out and said certain things about it. Same thing even with like Obama and Biden and all those other individuals. But yeah, the dollar's really on a big uptrend here. I would say it could easily have another leg up like tomorrow or something. But I will say just be careful. In my opinion, we're getting a little bit overbought, obviously. I think that we'll start to see a bit of a pullback back to the downside eventually. If it's not this week, then maybe next week or the week after. But at some point, the dollar is going to start to slow down. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later. I can tell you, I've personally been very upset that the dollar has been running this high. That's going to really hurt our trade here in the country. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, it's going to be a very tough go. But nonetheless, it's been really running up along with TNX. I mean, not this week, obviously, but you know, on a like a 6-month basis, you know, DXY and TNX have, like, the yields have been kind of rising with the dollar and inflation, of course. But yeah, I think it might have another leg up this week, Just next week, I'd be careful, and even this week, I'd be a little bit careful. But you can see how, like, the last time the dollar started really running up, it had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green days in a row. We're on like 1, 2, we're on like 3 right now. So it looks pretty good. Thanks for taking a look and the input. Yeah, no problem. I always like looking at the US dollar. You know, it's always a fun thing to look at. You know, you can see the dollar's been exploding since the beginning of this year, and you can see the market's just been sinking since the beginning of this year. And it doesn't always, you know, inverse like that, but still, though, it's very. Oh, hang on, this ain't even the SPY. There we go, SPY. Yeah, but yeah, you can see they don't always inverse 100%, but obviously, you know, a higher dollar for some reason hurts the market. Good morning, Vicky. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a great day. Thanks for joining up. If you're seeing any stocks that have some momentum or anything, Vicky, definitely let me know. I'll take a look at those today. But Vicky, I will say I noticed a couple of your stocks were moving up earlier. It looks like they now slowed down a little bit. It was Fubo. That thing was exploding. Now it's only up ever so slightly. Also saw a few other stocks that were moving very similar to this as well. I will say we had a lot of good momentum in pre-market and right at market open, and we just turned right back around on a lot of different plays. Let's see, though. I will say, as far as like plays that are continually moving up today, I'm noticing Costco is starting to really break out above that high of yesterday around 490, which was almost like a double top, actually. Actually, it's at like 491. But it double top there, really close to 491. I think that could be a pretty good price level to watch for a break. And, you know, we are really blasting above it this morning. So I don't know how high Costco can get today, but hey, it's having a nice little breakout move here. So keep Costco on the radar, guys. It's one of those value plays that is that's moving in a good way this morning. I'm noticing AAL, or American Airlines, is coming back to life. This was all over the place at open, but now we're breaking the high of day. Be really careful with the airlines. They had some news yesterday and they started really running up. So looking at the momentum here, I mean, that's a pretty big pop to the upside. Great move up here. Honestly, airlines have been really shaky lately. Like, you look at a 1-year daily chart over the past 6 months, and like since the beginning of the year, just like the stock market, these airlines have just been getting pummeled. A poor American Airlines is down around $14 right now, had lows of like 12. Just not what you want to see when you're looking at stocks like this, especially not airline stocks. Those stocks are very volatile and seem like they are always just up and down, like having big whipsaws, and obviously they run a lot off of news and stuff like that. I think there was even some airline news yesterday where they said that they're expecting let's see, let me check it out. Maybe it's on CCL or RCL. Let's see, DAL maybe. Here we go. I think it might be DAL. Biden dropping China tariffs. What? Oh, man. That's going to be crazy if they roll back those tariffs on China. Wow. Wow, and economists say that if we do end the tariffs with China, they say here that they could see getting rid of tariffs bringing down the inflation rate by about 0.3 percentage points. And like they said here, that isn't much when the starting point is north of 8%. So I don't know, that sounds a little bit bad. I know a lot of people would love that if we got rid of the tariffs with China. I mean, people would love that, but I just don't think that's going to help right now. And if anything, I think it's just going to make it worse, because I'll be honest, like my parents, my dad owns a business that deals a lot with importing steel. So whenever you import steel, there's a lot of issues that can arise. Number one, the cost for containers just to ship things has went up a lot. Number two, the cost of steel has went up. And number three, like wages and stuff are going up too. So it's a little tough to like gauge these markets. Like they said, they only expect to move around 0.3 percentage points. But the thing is like all these prices are already so high. A lot of companies have already raised their prices. And with inflation up and everything like that, even if we get rid of tariffs, I doubt that these companies are going to get rid of the price increases that they made because of tariffs. Like, for example, like if you buy a steel tube right now, it costs a lot more than it did, 5 years ago before these tariffs were on that. And the thing is like the tariffs, of course, steel companies had to raise prices because of those, because they had to pay more to import it. But then nonetheless, or obviously, there's imports and exports, so always keep that in mind. But you had to pay more to import it, so now you're paying more to import, so you raise prices. Now whenever they take this away, these companies aren't just going to lower prices right away, or get rid of the 10% upcharge they added because of tariffs. They're just not going to do that. So in my opinion, it would be a bad deal, because then if tariffs go back on again, then they might raise prices again and cause inflation to get even worse. And yeah, it's just it's a really bad thing here. I'm also seeing a thing that says hundreds of flights canceled or delayed over the holiday weekend, which is interesting. But nonetheless, the airlines were doing very well yesterday, so interesting. But yeah, I had to bring that up. I thought that was very interesting there. Manny gave me some coffee. Umar says AAL's breaking. Yeah, it's trying. It's really trying, Umar. It's getting up there. Had a lot of good momentum earlier, and like you said, it broke out, and now we're just kind of consolidating a little bit more. S says market will down. You think so? Let's see. SPY. Let's go check it out. Yeah, it's definitely getting rejected here a little bit around that high of yesterday. Yeah, really close to it getting rejected. I mean, I still think the market can move up today or tomorrow, but yeah, right now it definitely is getting rejected. We do have the FOMC minutes meeting coming up later, so be on the lookout for that. That's going to be pretty big here today. Yeah, Vicky says Costco's a great company, and the shares have moved great in the past 10 years. Until JOLTS and FOMC come out, market will go sideways, in my opinion. Yeah, I could see that, Vicky. I could see the market going sideways, maybe staying between 380 and like that high of day, like 380, 360 or 380, 350. I could see us just staying in that little range here until something happens. That could be something that could definitely happen like that. S says bad news is expected though. What type of bad news are you looking at, S? I mean, you looking at the recession news? Or are you looking at FOMC minutes? Like, I don't know. Like, there's a whole bunch of different, I guess you could say points in the market right now. Like, obviously, we have inflation. We have stuff with China. We have FOMC going on, rates. I mean, all types of stuff. Pretty crazy market right now. But going back to the QQQ today, we haven't even looked at Tesla one time, but QQQ is starting to turn back over a little bit. So is Tesla, kind of pulling back off to the downside now. So, a little bit unfortunate there with Tesla. I would love to see them hold up and do a little bit better today, but, I guess yesterday was just so green. We had to maybe expect a bit of a pullback, but, stocks were looking hot for once, so I'm still hoping that we can go on a nice uptrend here maybe later in the week. I'm still keeping my eyes on Amazon pretty hard and Meta. Two stocks there that I'm really watching this week for maybe some good moves back up. These poor stocks have been getting destroyed lately, guys. Just huge moves to the downside. But hang on, I will be right back. Give me 1 or 2 minutes. And I will be right back. I'm going to leave the chart up here on Meta. Maybe we can watch like a bit of a downtrend here. Who knows? Alrighty, sorry about that, guys, but I am back here today. Oh no, Cornish said he sold out of LabU yesterday. Oh man, yeah, I was having such a good day, wasn't it? Oh man. He says he's gonna re-enter this morning and the damn boss man interrupted. Oh no, that's not what you want to see, but man, yeah, it had a great move today. That was funny there. Uh Vicky, let's see. Oh, I got you, Vicky. Let's see. Let's go look at that spy here. If you guys are looking for any plays or anything like that, just let me know, and we will take a look at those today. I know we have some pretty big stuff going on in the market later on today. Obviously, the big thing is going to be the FOMC minutes coming out at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. That is going to be a huge event, so be ready for that. We're going to be going over a lot of different stuff, including, like, they're just going to go over pretty much rates, how they're looking to raise rates over the next few meetings. They might talk about more specific stuff, like if they're going to talk about more 75 basis point hikes, or if they're going to scale it back to 50 basis points, or maybe even take it up to, 100 basis points. Who knows? They're going to have all types of different stuff that they're going to talk about. They're going to talk about jobs, and, you're going to hear all types of stuff come out of this minutes report. So definitely be ready for this, guys. It's going to be a big event later. It usually moves the market in a pretty big way. Let's see how the market's looking today, though, on a one-day aspect on the heat map. Keep in mind the heat map does lag behind a little bit, so it is slightly behind, but nonetheless, stocks are still pretty green. Nonetheless, MO or Altria is up, which is interesting. Umar's looking for technicals on HD. Let's see. Technicals on HD. Yeah, Home Depot. Not a bad stock here. Let's see. Max daily chart. This is not too bad here, Umar. I mean, there's a pretty big support here at the bottom. You can see that this stock had a ton of bounces on this support in the past, and we recently got really, really, really close, so I'm going to throw that on there, maybe make it a width of 4. There we go. Touched it perfect. Moving back up now. Technicals, though, in the short term, I am seeing something here that might have some issues with. All right, Umar, so here's the issue with HD. I like the setup. So whenever we're trying to move up here, we need to break above this resistance here at like 285.75, somewhere really close to that. We broke it momentarily today, but we have to have a bigger breakout than that up above there. So as far as technicals on HD, I'm looking for good resistance here at like 286. If you could break 286, then I would definitely look at like maybe some calls here. I think that it's setting up pretty well. There's a decent support coming up around 275, Umar. So if you're looking for any good support levels on HD, I think 275 would look good. Intraday, I see another one around 280. So be wary as HD starts to pull back. Maybe we can end up in the green today and maybe even break out up above 285.50. That would be amazing if we could do that. But yeah, either way, it's a pretty good move this morning. I'll take that type of price action. And as always, don't forget to smash that like button, guys. Yeah, it's a pretty crazy day in the market, but as we know, the likes really help out the stream. They help out everything like that. So hitting the like button is definitely helpful, guys. Also, comments really help as well. Just throw out any stocks you guys are looking at. If you guys want to see any specific plays, of course, let me know. Or we can even talk about gold or silver or metals or oil even, something like that. Oil had a really crazy move yesterday, though. I'll say that, guys. Oil, and it's having another one today. So we blasted down below $100 a barrel. Now we're sitting right around that low of yesterday. So very interesting setup here. If we break below that low of yesterday, I think we might end up seeing a bit of like a pullback to the downside again. And it looks like if we have momentum like yesterday, I mean, who knows how far it could end up going down. But there were some pretty big analysts at like Citigroup yesterday. So Citigroup came out and they said that they could see oil falling down to like $63 a barrel. And compared to where we are now, that's going to be a big drop. So pretty crazy to see that. See that calendar, yeah, nothing there. Yeah, no problem, Umar. He says he's looking for the long term. Okay, long term, good to hear. If you're looking for the long term, I'll go back to a max daily. Look a little bit more on there for you. Let's see. So on the max daily, Umar, so I gave you a lot of more shorter term levels. On the max daily, there's that big support that I talked about at like 264, 265. That is a huge level right there. So I think that'll be a big level to look for in the short term. But if we do break below here, 250 will be the next huge one that I see, Umar. If we could start bouncing off 250, I think that would make for some amazing opportunities in the shorter term. But nonetheless, even right now, it could be a good opportunity. It's had a huge pullback. Like, let's see the exact percentage. HD's been moving down here. Let's see, because it's a pretty big drop from the top to the bottom. Yeah, so it looks like we had like a 31%, 30 to 31% drop to the downside here, which is not really what you want to see out of a big stock like Home Depot. Although the housing market exploded and Home Depot exploded with it. So I guess now it just kind of has to pull back after that big explosion like that. And as we know, what goes up must come down, and what goes down usually comes up. We'll say that. But nonetheless, yeah. Thanks, Umar. Glad to look at some technicals. Always glad to look at stocks like that. Talking about Home Depot, let's see Lowe's. Yeah, very similar setup on Lowe's. Let's see Costco. Costco's still having a pretty good morning, guys. I mean, don't sleep on Costco. Looks like it might be breaking out here in the shorter term, up above 495. It's definitely testing that resistance, so it might not break out totally, but hey, it's having an amazing move up. So we'll definitely take that type of movement most days. I did see Rivian was continuing though, guys, back up 10%, approaching that high of day again, up around $30. That's pretty big. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of news with Rivian lately regarding, I think George Soros even, and people like Ford and different people like that who have been investing a lot of money into Rivian and a lot of these lower EV companies. But I hope that they can come back, and it looks like today they definitely are. Yesterday we saw a few other stocks moving, like what was the main one yesterday? NIO, I guess, because we have Power Day today with NIO. So I kind of was hoping NIO could start to move up on Power Day, but although I'm not sure exactly where obviously where we're going to end up. It's going to be a tough one here with NIO. Lot of big events, but here you go. Here's the headline. NIO to hold Power Day 2022 on Wednesday. What investors should know. So Wednesday at 3 a.m. Eastern time. Whoa, that happened earlier this morning, I guess. Although I don't see anything on here about it. Let's see, 3 a.m. Eastern on Wednesday. Man, that's today. So that happened this morning. A little strange, guys. Not sure. Did you guys see anything about NIO today? I haven't seen anything about the event here. A little strange. It said it would come out today at 3 a.m. though, Eastern time. Um, which is nowhere. You know, that would have been earlier this morning, like pre-market. Let me look this up. Hang on. NIO Power Day. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. Now I'm seeing, yeah, like it's so weird, guys. I'm not seeing like a lot of news anywhere else really, but I'm seeing it on like some of these like tech websites, I guess you could say, stuff like that. Yeah, I see these guys follow like Nvidia and AMD and pharma things and stuff, but let's see. Here we go. In a major development, NIO announced that it is testing the use of batteries stored at a battery swap station to provide power to the grid during off-peak times. When deployed at a large scale, this solution is expected to curtail the astronomical costs of these stations. Interesting. But nonetheless, guys, I mean, NIO's had a lot of interesting stuff that they're talking about. Like this right here is like one of their like swap stations. And guys, the swap station is just insane. Here, I'll show you what it looks like here on the YouTube here. Let's see. NIO swap station. Let's see. All right, check this out. This is sick, guys. So you guys want to see what NIO does here? Definitely watch here for a second. This is pretty big. Yeah, as you can see, like it turns the car. Now this is where it's really cool, guys. So this comes up from under the car, comes up with these I guess you could say like impact drills or something like that, and it like undoes the battery from the bottom of the car, takes it out. So there it goes, unscrews it, drops the battery down. Now a new battery comes into its place. So the old one slides off. You can see that one doesn't have any charge on it. This one has all the charge. Slides back here. And there we go. Installed. It's that easy, guys. Now you can drive away. That's how easy it is now to I guess charge these EVs. It's very interesting to see exactly how this is done. So like let's go watch that again. So it comes up, it takes the old battery out from underneath the car. So it was kind of like how Tesla, they have a big battery pack on the bottom of the car. So almost every EV car has like a pack on the bottom. So they're pretty much taking the whole bottom of the car off and then, you know, putting in a new bottom of the car that has a, you know, obviously like a charged battery in it. So it's not so that you don't have to like wait for it to charge. Whereas like with Teslas right now, you have to wait for them to charge. Now keep in mind, NIO, it's over in China, so it's going to be a little bit different than in the United States. And whenever I say it's going to be different than in the United States, what I mean is that we don't have anything like this yet, so it's probably going to take a long time, whereas they already have some of these going over there in China, which is very interesting nonetheless, but kind of cool. That car doesn't even look that bad, to be honest. I think it looks okay. But in either way, NIO's really tanking off today. I guess Power Day did not go how people hope so far, but hey, don't forget to smash that like button, guys. If you're enjoying the stream, of course, and I go live every single day at Market Open, so definitely join me back here again tomorrow. We will be looking at more stocks, more great setups in the market. But let's get back to that S&P 500 here. Wow, there we go. The SPY is holding its ground pretty well. I know that we've been a little shaky this morning, but you know we were holding up above that pre-market low at like 380. So it's not the worst thing in the world to see. I'm glad that we're holding our ground, and it does not look too bad at all here. Let's see stocks that are moving up again today. I know we talked about Rivian, of course. That stock's been exploding. It's actually right around the high of day again, which is great. So Rivian's there. We have Lucid also starting to run up. Lucid broke above its high of day momentarily, and it's honestly looking pretty hot there, so not a bad move from them at all. I'll take that any day of the week. Let me see the Rivian news. I want to get an article up here of the Rivian news. Yeah, here it is, guys. I'm bringing up the Rivian headline on CNBC today. Came out 5 minutes ago. But yeah, they confirm they're on track to build 25,000 EVs this year. Pretty big number considering they only had 4,400 this quarter. I guess it's if you take 5,000 times 4, you know, you're at 20,000. So I guess they could have some pretty good stuff. Wow, what's this? Biden administration moves to make sweeping changes to the broken loan system. Uh-oh. I know this is a pretty heated topic, guys. Some people hope that the government, you know, that they forgive some loans, but some people hope that the government doesn't. Let me know how you guys feel about that in the comments down below. Hey SM, how are you doing? Thanks for the super chat, $2. Thank you so much again. I know last week you were on fire. You had some good trades. They're saying hi Tom, long or short options. Fang today. Apple, Google, Tesla, Facebook. Yeah, I'll check it out for you. But yeah, thank you so much, SM. I really appreciate it, of course, as always. Thank you for joining up this morning. I'll definitely take a look at some of those Fang stocks today. Let's see. Apple, Google, Tesla, Meta. Let's see. Yeah, Meta's coming back up today, SM. Let's see. Apple. Apple's really breaking out. That's pretty big, SM. Let's see. Amazon. Yeah, I would say, yeah, in my opinion, SM, I think that honestly, I would start to look at calls today personally. I think that we can definitely continue up off of that momentum that we had yesterday in the market. Obviously, we've been really, really shaky, though, as of right now. But, like, Apple, or I should say Amazon, for example, is about to come up and retest, like, the 114 resistance, which it's tested, like, 3 times this morning. So maybe we can get a good breakout with Amazon if we do see a nice move up through that resistance there. And then, of course, Google, Tesla, stocks like that. Google is the same exact way. Right around the high of day, we're, like, about to break out momentarily. Tesla is another one. Tesla actually bounced off the 1,000 SMA on the 1 minute. And now it's coming up back to the upside as well. I will say I like this move with Tesla. I think that this could be a pretty good call play today as well, maybe. A lot of momentum is coming back into the market, which is great. And Tesla had a big move off support yesterday. Yeah, I could see it. I could see it ending green. So SM, I would say I'm leaning towards calls, especially on stocks like Apple, Amazon. Let's see. Yeah, stocks like that. I don't think that Google is going to necessarily be anything too crazy today. This one might be good for calls too, but you know, it's a little bit slower mover, and as we know, it's the share price on it is absolutely insane. I will say though, I'm liking the setup with Google too, SM. I think that looks really hot, but yeah, thank you so much for joining up today. I would say I'm personally longing. I really like that momentum, and it's been a long time since stocks have had good momentum like that, especially on, like, for example, on concurrent back-to-back days. On a normal market, you know, you can see Google here has had little uptrends here recently, and I feel like that might be kind of like what we're going to do again. Maybe come up and test 2,400 there. And then they're also saying FOMC minutes, will it move positive or negative? Now that is a tough one, SM. So that comes out at 2 p.m. Eastern time in about 4 hours. So we're going to have a big event later. Personally, SM, a lot of people think that that's going to make the market fall. But I have a feeling that the market might go up off of that, SM. I mean, think about it. That the Feds are going to talk about inflation, and they're going to talk about, you know, everyone is always like, oh, they're raising rates, how scary. But, like, you need to raise rates to combat inflation right now. And I feel like the market might think that as well. So we'll have to see exactly what happens. But looking at charts heading into this minutes meeting, SM, I'm leaning to the upside. It looks like a lot of stocks are setting up well. So I'm leaning slightly up there. The minutes are very tough, though, SM. You know, there's a couple different ways the market might perceive this. Like I said, I think the market might perceive it in a better way than most people think. But they're either going to perceive this as in, number one, the Feds are going to keep raising rates at like a high rate, like 75 basis points. So if they do that, the market might perceive that rate hike as good because we need rate hikes to bring down inflation. But at the same time, now you might have a rate hike come out And for example, the market might drop a lot because, as we know, rates going up affects growth stocks, tech stocks, and just stocks in general in a negative way. So obviously rates going up isn't the best for the market, but whenever you have inflation and stuff like that going up, then the market might perceive the rates as being good. So I think it might be pretty good. SM saying, can you go look at the May 25th chart? Was that the last minutes meeting? Let's go see. I definitely can. Let's go, sorry, I clicked the wrong button there, or did I? Nope. Here we go. Oh, okay, May 25th, you said. Okay. Was that the last minutes, by the way? I'm not sure. Let's see. The 25th. Yep, right here. You can see, actually, the 25th was the day we broke out of the trend line here, SM. Okay, so that was the last minutes meeting. So yeah, here's the 25th right here where my cursor is, right on that breakout on this blue trend line. So let's see. Yeah, so if we go to an intraday, if we zoom in a little bit more here, you can see the market was down that day, and then as soon as they started speaking at like 1 p.m., the market went all over the place and then flew up, actually. So very interesting. But yeah, SM, I would say I think that the market has a good chance to go up off of this. Just keep in mind, like I said, it's very tough to gauge these. The market perceives things in different ways all the time, but I'm leaning to the upside, especially based on how I'm seeing the SPY hold up here. Kind of like on this day. Look at how the SPY was holding up around that top up there. Obviously, we still could have rejected and fallen off, but I feel like that with SPY holding up, that's a good sign rather than SPY like falling back down towards like 374 or something like that. So personally, I think it can move up to SM. I don't know the exact historical number for, green days on FOMC meetings or not, or on FOMC minutes or not. But yeah, I believe that we can end up having a nice pop here. So let's hope we see it. Honestly, the market's setting up well for it. If we do see it, a lot of stocks will have some big breakouts. So be on the lookout. You might be able to catch some pretty good trades, but I hope I answered your question there, SM. Like I said, that's a very tough event to gauge, and it's just the minutes. So just to reiterate, the minutes meeting isn't really going to be anything new or anything, too surprising usually. Powell usually does a pretty good job at going over what they talked about, so usually it doesn't have too many surprises for us there, but yeah, thank you so much, SM. I appreciate the super chat, of course. And of course, anytime you need anything, just let me know, and we can take some looks at different plays and stuff like that. Even in Discord, you can always message me in there as well. But yeah, I really appreciate you. Bibbin says, how many hours left until the FOMC? So the FOMC minutes meeting is going to be coming out at 2 p.m. Eastern Time or 1 p.m. Central Time. So I'm Central Time, so for right now, it's gonna come out in about 4 hours. Technically, 3 hours and 45 minutes. So be on the lookout for that. Bibbin, 3 hours and 45 minutes from this exact point today. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough event. Personally, with the FOMC minutes, as I'm starting to look at this, I'm gonna look at this in a way today. Like I said, I'm going to be a little bit bullish on it. I'm going to think that the market might react well. Hopefully, the market enjoys the Fed's trying to bring down inflation. If they don't, then it's going to be a tough day. But nonetheless, I hope that we can have a nice pop back. A lot of growth plays were running up today. I mean, we were having some great pops this morning, and then everything just started giving its gains right back off to the downside. A lot of people always say that we're going to go flat ahead of these events, and usually that's what happens, and it seems like that's kind of what's happening today. Stocks are just staying right around opening price. Even Unity, like, it's down 2%, but you can see on the chart, it's still very, very close to its opening price, even though it is down a little bit. Let's see what else we have running down today. Let's see. Airlines, unfortunately. know we talked about this one a little bit earlier, but they are just continuing down here today. Caesars is down. CZR. Hate to see those hotel stocks moving down like that. That's never what I want to see either. Let's see. Lucid. Lucid's still up around the high of day, I think. Yeah, still pretty close. Same thing with Rivian, of course, with that news that we talked about. Let's see Costco. I know I talked about a little bit about them earlier. I hope they held up. Oh, they didn't. They started coming back down, unfortunately. Walmart, too. ChargePoint. Yeah, ChargePoint not really doing anything. Logitech. Yeah, nothing too crazy. All right, let me know what stocks you guys are watching. Of course, guys, we'll definitely take a look. Of course, definitely let me know the momentum plays you guys are looking at. I'll definitely be interested in some of the day trades and stuff like that. That'll be awesome today. But hey, give me 1 sec, guys. I'll be right back. I'm gonna throw the chart on QQQ again. Sorry, I have some pretty bad allergies. Just bear with me. I'll be back in just like 60 seconds. All right, guys. Sorry for that. Sorry. Have some bad allergies, like I said. But we are back here today. QQQ's holding up okay. I will say, not the worst move today. Vicky says the market will react well on the FOMC minutes because the Fed will not raise rates at 0.5%. All macro indicators confirm we already are in a mild recession and rate hikes will need to be curbed. I know, Vicky, right? It's kind of a tough thing, isn't it? Like, so the rate hikes, like they obviously, some people say we need to keep raising rates at the pace that we're doing because of inflation, and a lot of people are saying that the Feds need to throw us into a recession. So, you know, I'm not saying that that's the correct thing to do. I'm just saying that that's what a lot of people say. So, kind of strange, you know. I know there's a lot of debate going around that, but yeah, I would hope that they don't raise it again at 0.75%. If they did 0.5%, I think that would be a little bit better, Vicky. I don't know what your thoughts are on that at all. But yeah, I think 0.5% would be okay, but yeah. Mike Chang says Disney ruined my whole portfolio. Let's see. I mean, what'd you do on it, Mike? Were you trading some calls, or have you been just buying shares? Or man, I mean, I feel a little bit bad. It definitely has been tanking off here the past year. Man, I will say that's why it's so important to like average in. But as we know, you know, you can't always average into everything. It's like impossible. But yeah, I know. Yeah, I feel bad, Mike. Like, let me know what happened here. Did you just buy shares at the top and went in too deep too early, or did you get some options that got screwed up? Or man, that's unfortunate to hear, though. I will say though, Mike. I mean, Disney is, it looks like it's in a good buying spot right now. Like if I was gonna buy shares for the long term, I would be buying them right now. So I just want to say that because I think that there's some good opportunity here, and I have a feeling that we might be able to maybe come back up here on Disney over the next couple months, maybe even over the next year or so, of course. But nonetheless, though, that's never good to hear. I hope it comes back for you, though, Mike. You know, Disney can definitely come back as long as you're holding the shares there. I think it could have a pretty good chance to maybe pop back up, but let's go back to that SPY today. SPY, are we moving back? Just kind of staying stagnant. Not really anything too surprising on the movement today. I know, like I said earlier, a lot of these slower movers are moving, like Pepsi, Walmart, you know, stuff like that. It's starting to really pop up. Maybe like Target, KO. Target's not popping, but KO is looking pretty good intraday. Just like Pepsi was. I know earlier you guys said Apple was breaking out, and yeah, it had a good breakout. Now it's starting to consolidate, unfortunately. I was hoping to see it continuing. And no stocks are really continuing up too well, though, besides like Rivian and Lucid. Those two are still doing very, very well. But the rest of the market is just kind of iffy, you know, just kind of staying very stagnant, not really having any crazy moves or anything like that. Maybe I'm missing some big runners today, guys. Let's see. Let's see the pre-market movers today. RKT was running. Are you serious? That's funny. Rocket Mortgage was up again. RKT. I haven't talked about this one in forever. I'm glad I sold out of this, guys. Man, I was trading this one and I got lucky. I don't know where exactly I got out. I got out on like one of these big pops of the upside, though. Maybe this one. I probably didn't get out at the very top, but still, I mean, that's pretty crazy to see it moving like that. But yeah, a lot of those, yeah, I don't see anything too crazy as far as movement this morning, though. In pre-market, like there wasn't like a ton of stocks like that. Mike Chang says he averaged in at the wrong time on Disney. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to average in, isn't it? I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. I really like the strategy of like, Mike, I will say this, like if you have like let's just say you want to put like, let's just say like 10 grand into Disney, for example. I really like the concept of maybe doing like, you know, maybe like $500 a week until you hit the 10 grand or something like that. You know, like sometimes that really helps. Vicky says, I think the Fed will go with 0.5%, but experts say it should be 0.25% or even no rate hike until there is a better picture of macro data. Wow, that's very interesting, Vicky. Yeah, that's interesting. I guess it depends which expert you're talking to, but yeah, that's very interesting there. They're saying it should be 0.25% or even no rate hike. Vicky says the stock market has already done a lot of the job the Fed would need to do, and increasing rates may take the country in a deep recession. I know, Vicky, yeah. I've seen some, like you said, I know every analyst, of course, has a different view, so, but I've seen some articles out there even talking that, where the analysts say that we need to have a recession. The analysts will say, well, given the current market conditions, especially with inflation and stuff, we need to keep raising rates, or else inflation is just going to be crazy. But that's funny. Vicky's like, you know, I only follow the best. I am here on your stream, LOL. Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, I like to look at the whole picture. You know, like I like to read all the articles. Like I said, some analysts want recession, but hopefully that doesn't happen. I hope we don't have one. That would be terrible for jobs. It sucks. It does. Like I think Powell even said something straight up like we need to hurt the jobs market or something. Let's see. Yeah, right here, Vicky. This is it. Yeah, here. I found it. Yeah, here's just one example that this is like what I keep seeing all over the place. Powell says there's no guarantee the Fed can spare jobs while taming inflation. We believe we can do that. That is our aim, he said. But the Russian invasion of Ukraine has made the job more difficult. It's gotten harder and the pathways have gotten narrower, he says. Interesting. He does say, though, the U.S. economy is well positioned to withstand tighter monetary policy, so that's good. When did this article come out? Let's see. Okay, it's recent, so that's good to see. I'm glad it wasn't old. That would have been a little whack, but... Yeah, Vicky goes, of course I hear everyone and then make my own conclusion. Yeah, yeah, definitely, Vicky. For sure. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, though. I hope we don't go into recession. That would be terrible. I hope that they only raise rates like 0.5%. 0.25% wouldn't be bad either. I hope we can just tame the inflation. That's the biggest thing. Like, I hate to see consumers spending so much on like gas and groceries and all that type of stuff. So hopefully something gets fixed here in the shorter term. But nonetheless, I really appreciate you talking about it, Vicky. Always good to talk about some different viewpoints and stuff like that. I really hope the Fed does what you said. I hope that they don't raise rates quite as high, but we'll have to see what that minutes meeting said. I know Powell keeps acting like they're gonna, so it's tough, but yeah, I appreciate you joining up today. Vicky, thank you. Mike, SM, Bibbin, George, Umar, S, Manny, E, Sunil, Hunter, Raymond, Lee, Jamie. Thank you all so much, of course, as always. Thank you, SM Fan, for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Really, really do. That's always a big thing for us. And yeah, it's always awesome to look up all the big stocks there. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope the FOMC minutes meeting goes well for us. And, you know, like Vicky said, hopefully they talk about raising rates at like 0.25%, 0.5%, maybe something lower like that. I hope they don't say something high again. And I hope they don't. But nonetheless, have a great day, guys. Hopefully we bring in those profits. If you guys make any good trades today, post them in the profit section on Discord. I'd be really happy to see some nice profits in there. So have a great day, guys. Let's see a nice breakout.